Hey guys, welcome to Grounded Youth Online for the very first time. We hope y'all are having an awesome week. I know y'all are stuck at home and not able to go to school, and it's horrible. We can't even come to church right now, but we're just trying to be safe. Hope you guys are staying safe, and like I said, I hope y'all are just having a really awesome week. We've definitely been praying for you guys through all of this. I'm just going to jump right into the lesson tonight just for time's sake. So there's this event in the Bible in John chapter 8, and pretty much what happens in this event is the Pharisees, they go and they find this woman. They find this woman who was caught in adultery. They take the woman and they throw her at the feet of Jesus, and they tell Jesus pretty much, they said, Moses commanded that a woman caught in adultery should be stoned to death. And they told Jesus, they said, what do you say? And they did this to try to trick Jesus. They tried to get Jesus to say something where they could claim that they could disprove him, was what they were trying to do. They were trying to prove that he wasn't the Messiah, the Son of God. So they're really trying to trip him up here with this. And Jesus responds in the most awesome way, because they all have their stones ready. And they're ready to stone this woman to death because of her sin. And Jesus looks at them and he says, okay. He said, you guys want to stone her? Let he who has no sin cast the first stone. And being convicted of their hearts, being convicted of their own sin, each one of them just drop their stones on the ground and they walk away. And Jesus looks down at the woman and he says, where are your accusers? And she says, Lord, there are none, because they all walked away. And Jesus, being the only person that was worthy enough to stone her, the only person worthy enough to judge her, he said, neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more. To me, it's one of the most beautiful events in the New Testament. It's one of my most favorite events of Jesus' ministry. And this is the verse, all of that, the whole story, it leads up to this one statement that Jesus says directly after that. I'm going to read in John 8 and verse 12. It says, and then Jesus spoke to them again, saying, I am the light of the world. And he who follows me shall not walk in darkness, but have the light of life. And that's kind of what I want to focus on here just for a few minutes. I want to focus on that statement where Jesus says, I am the light of the world. So you have the backstory that kind of led up to the statement. Just for a second, so let's just kind of talk about light, just in general for a second. Okay? There are a couple things I just want to point out tonight about what light does for us. And we could go on and on and on and on and on about what light does for us. I mean, we could have a 3-hour discussion about it. But I'm going to give you 3 just to kind of think about for a second. The first thing that light does is light drives away darkness. Right? When you're in a dark room, even if you just light a match, the space that light occupies drove that darkness away. Darkness cannot be where light is. There can never be enough darkness to overpower light. It only takes one flicker of light to drive away darkness, but there can never be enough darkness to overthrow that light. As long as there's light, there is an absence of darkness, right? So light drives darkness away. The second thing that I want to point out is that light reveals. That's the most obvious one. Without light, we can't see where we're going. You think of it being like 3 o'clock in the morning and you're on your way to the restroom, and you tripping over everything on your way because you have no light, or just living life without without the sun, without light bulbs, without anything, just in complete darkness is hard to wrap your mind around, because we would be bumping into everything, tripping over everything. Especially with my daughter Gracelyn, she's 2, and I have to get up in the middle of the night, like I'm stepping all over her toys, because I try not to turn the lights on to wake everybody up, and I ended up like breaking my foot in the process. But so because of light, we're able to see. That's the most obvious thing that light does. And the last thing that I want to point out is that light enables growth. When you think of plants, you guys go through school. I don't know. Hopefully, you should have already kind of went over what photosynthesis is, and all that is the plants need sun, right? For in order for them to have life, in order for them to grow. The sun, when it comes to the plants, the sun helps them. It helps them grow. It gives them life. Apart from that, apart from sunlight, the plants that give us air wouldn't be able to exist. They need the sun because it helps them grow. So those three things I want you to think about there for a second, because I'm about to tie this back in to what Jesus said. So light drives away darkness, light helps us see, and light helps growth. Those three things, what is true in the natural realm when it comes to this is also true in the spiritual realm. And this is why Jesus said, I am not only a light. He didn't say I'm a light. He said, I'm the light. I'm the light of the world. And what he means by that is those three things that I just went over. Is that Jesus being the light of the world drives away darkness. Jesus being the light of the world. So through Jesus, we overcome the world. Jesus being light, and Jesus has every right to be light here because Jesus came, he stepped down out of heaven. He gave his life he lived a sinless life and then gave his life on the cross. And that defeated sin. Him raising from the dead again after 3 days, that defeated sin. It overcame sin. It overcame the world. It overcame the darkness of the world. So through him being the light, this is what he's saying. Because when he was talking about this, he was talking about it in reference to this woman's sin. He's like, I am the light of the world. Through him being the light of the world, he overcomes darkness, and so we through him overcome the darkness as well. We overcome sin through him as well. There's no salvation. There's no freedom from sin. There's no overcoming this world except it be through Jesus, who is the light of the world. The second thing that I pointed out, like I said, light reveals, and Jesus does the same thing. Jesus reveals. He reveals to us many things. He reveals to us his plan. He reveals to us that he is the Son of God, and what he did here to these Pharisees is he revealed to them their sin. As he said, because they're ready to stone the woman caught in adultery. And he said, let he who have no sin cast the first stone. And in them, they all had to sit there and really reflect on themselves, and in themselves, sin was revealed. The reason they didn't stone her and the reason they walked away is because they knew they were also sinful, which is a very powerful thing and a very awesome thing that we have through God, is that he reveals to us that we're sinful, because the fact that we come to that knowledge that we're sinful makes us aware of the need that we have for him. So it's so important here. And the last thing that I pointed out is that, light helps growth, and Jesus also helps us grow. So through Jesus we grow. The woman here, when she was caught in adultery, Jesus didn't condemn her. He said, neither do I condemn you. He said, now go and sin no more. He gave her the opportunity there for growth. He not only gave her opportunity for growth, but he gave her direction. So us as Christians, us as disciples, you as disciples, young disciples of Christ, Jesus being the light of the world, the one that we look to, through him we overcome sin. Through him our sin is revealed. Things in us that are unpleasing to God are revealed in us, so that we can get those straightened out, and worked out in our own walk, in our own salvation with God. And then also through all of that, he helps us. He guides us. He guides us in our lives. He guides us into what he's called you to do. He guides you into a person that he would have you to witness to. And not only that, but he helps grow you. He helps grow you into the image of his son. That is God's ultimate goal, is to save us and then conform us into the image of his son. And he does, and that's how he does it. So, light is, when you really think about it, it's like I said before, trying to imagine life without light. Okay, living in a world with complete darkness, it's super hard to wrap your mind around. Okay, I couldn't imagine a life where we couldn't see. I couldn't imagine a life without light. We need light. Light is one of the main sources that, aside from air to breathe and food to eat, life is one of the main sources light is one of the main sources that we need in order to be able to just to function. And in the same way, Jesus saying that I am the light, he is the source. He's our source. He's not just a source. He's our source. He's our source that we have as Christians. He's our source that we have as a child of God, to look to cling to. And in him, and as we discussed, a couple weeks ago, I was talking about where Jesus said, I am the bread. In him, everything that we need is found in him. And when he's saying that I am the light, essentially he's saying that I'm the source. I'm all that you need. Because through him, our sin is revealed. And through him, not only is our sin revealed, but we can overcome our sin. And then also through him, we're able to grow. We're able to leave our old, our sin nature behind. And we're able to be conformed into the image of him. And he's able to, and through that, he's able to accomplish his will in our lives. And through that, you find your calling that you're supposed to do through him. He has a calling on your life. He has a calling on each and every one of your lives. You're watching this video right now. God has a plan and a purpose for your life. And all you have to do is just look at him as the light, as the source, and look at him, kind of treat Jesus just as we treat light in this world. Like, we can't really live without light. We can't live without Jesus. We can't function without Jesus. All right, so I just want to encourage you guys with that. And and like I said, wherever this is hitting you, wherever this is dealing with you, I'm sure this is hitting different areas for different people. But I just want to encourage you that Jesus says, I am the light. He is the source. He is our source. He is our main source. And in that, we should take comfort in that the creator of the universe, says that he is our source, and we can cling to him through anything. So maybe you're watching this video right now and you need direction. Maybe you're watching this video right now and you don't really know what your calling is. Maybe you're just at a crossroads and you have a decision that you don't really know what to do. Maybe you need God to reveal what sin is to you. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you're doing things. Maybe you have sin in your life and you don't know that it's sin, and you need God to reveal that to you. And I'm not boasting of myself when I say this, but something that I always pray is, God, reveal in me what is in me, what revealed to me what is in me that is not pleasing to you. Because I want to please God. And maybe that's the prayer that you need to pray. Maybe it's, Lord, what do you want me to do? What's your purpose for me? What is your plan for my life? What is your calling for me? Maybe you're seeking that right now. And in those circumstances, in those situations, Jesus says, I am the light, and we can look to him and he will reveal that to us because he is light. But I love you guys. Leanna's gonna have a song coming up right after, so please feel free to just spin that song, just praying and just reflecting on this lesson, reflect on what God has laid on your heart. I encourage you just right after this lesson, just kind of have a time to pray there to yourself. But we love y'all. We're praying for you, and hopefully next week we'll be able to get back in person. But I'm really hoping that this lesson touched you guys. And just know, like I said, y'all, if you need anything, you need prayer, you need advice, you need just to talk to anybody, just know that me and Leanna are always here for you. Whatever it is, you call us, text us, whatever the situation is, we're all ears, and we just want to encourage you with that. But we love y'all. We're praying for you, and hopefully we'll get to see y'all next week. But we will keep y'all updated on that. But y'all just continue to stay safe, stay clean, wash your hands, and we'll see you hopefully next week.
I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. Am I more than just the sum of every high and every low? Remind me once again just who I am, because I